Hello, everybody. This is Kaij King 122, and I am back reading this very special piece of literature. And I am joined with somebody today.
What up?
I'm gonna be having her be tortured as well while we read this thing. So, are you excited? You ready for the cringe?
Yes, the cringe. Yay!
Yeah, well, I'm on chapter 4, Dementia, which is what I'm gonna get if I continue reading this.
Dementia?
Okay, so I'm gonna start reading it, and you can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna read a paragraph, and then you can read a paragraph, okay?
Okay.
Hey, we're gonna read this. When I got back to the game, I was getting very upset and confused.
I thought about the way the monster looked at me. The game couldn't have heard what I said. That's impossible. It had to be a random occurrence. But why did it happen precisely at the moment I insulted the monster?
Nothing about this game made any sense. The new Godzilla monsters, the weird replacement monsters, out of place imagery, like the green temples, quiz levels, and the red monster chases, it didn't seem to add up in any kind of meaningful way.
It was a prank. It wasn't funny in any way. I couldn't understand. It was funny in any way I could understand, and they clearly put far too much effort into it.
I mean, this guy's he thinks that this is like how the game was like when it was released in 1988. But if you were to look at a lot of these screen caps, they're in like 16-bit graphics. So they didn't have this back in the 80s. They had that in the 90s. And a lot of it's like really cheap stuff you can like just make on a MS Paint.
Read this to point out all the insecurities or like stuff.
Well, also to make fun of it, and because I need to give my channel some content, so we're reading that for that reason. Okay, let's see. Where are we at again? Oh, if they were trying to make a genuine sequel with new Godzilla monsters, then why did they add everything else?
Maybe it was some kind of an art experiment. Some group projects made a bunch of really talented, crazy people, and they lost the cartridge somehow. Or maybe they intended for some random person to find it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they intended for a random person to find it. I mean, if I was to make if I was a really talented and crazy person, and I lost a cartridge, I would definitely intend for a random person to find it.
So that they can be continuously tortured by the cartridge?
Yes.
Wow, that's really nice.
I know. It was all just fruitless guessing. As far as I could tell, there was only one way to figure out what the deal with this game was. To look it up on the internet. I'm just kidding. To play it through to the end. Maybe, just maybe, there would be something in the credits. An explanation by the creators as to why they made this. Or it could be something much more cryptic and strange. Maybe even something horrifying.
Before I got a good look at the Dementia board, I considered replaying is it Terrence?
Trance.
Replaying Trance to see if the red monster would look at me again, but I decided against it. I wanted to keep moving forward. I was also somewhat worried that backtracking might cause the game to become even more strange.
The Dementia board music sounded a lot like the Saturn music. Except it was slowed down and played with a piano sounding instrument. Like most of these new map themes, it had a dangerous, suspenseful feel.
While listening to the music, I looked at the Dementia board. There were 4 boss monsters this time. Space Godzilla,
Manda, Gigan,
Gigan?
yes.
Please pronounce these. And
It's Baragon.
Baragon. I was surprised that there were 2 new tall monsters this time, but the best surprise was still to come.
I'm really happy they decided to put in. Oh, by the way, Manda, the one that is like, this one that looks like a snake right here. He was actually in the original game, but he was not a boss monster. He was more just like an enemy that shooted fireballs. So,
random facts.
I like to give random facts. Also, NECA, get on making those albino Godzilla figures, please. I started the quiz level. Here's another list of results in the same format as the last one.
Can you swim? Answer, yes. Reaction, happy.
Do you like fish? Answer, yes. Reaction, sick. I guess, okay, so the thing that's asking these questions, its name is Face.
Huh?
But,
sounds like...
literally, its name is Face. It looks like this. That's Face.
Well, it sounds like this person is stalking this other person and is planning to kill him. Or her. No.
The person's name is Zach, but you won't find that out until later on, so...
Okay. Can penguins fly? Answer, no. Reaction, sad.
He wants the penguins to fly. I do too.
I know. The penguins are so cute.
Can it spin in all directions? There was no clarification of what Face meant by it, so I just guessed. Answer, no. Reaction, surprised.
Do you breathe oxygen? Answer, reaction, weird face. #8.
Well,
6.
I hope I breathe oxygen. Does it taste good when you fight a woman? Like a vampire, I guess.
What?
I don't know who came up with this question, but I really hope they're getting mental help. Probably you, buddy, because you wrote this story, so, maybe this is a call for help. Answer, no. Reaction, annoyed.
Is it night where you are? Oh, yeah, this is some creepy stalker stuff right here. Answer, yes. Reaction, weird face #6.
Do you like cats? Reaction, weird. Answer, yes. Reaction, confused. Doesn't like cats, I guess.
This is controversial right here. Is water wet? Answer, yes. Reaction, angry.
I guess, Face, well, actually, the last person that was on here, we nicknamed him Chad, so we can call him Chad as well.
Chad.
Yeah.
It looks like a real Chad.
So, I guess, Chad doesn't like the fact that water is wet. He kind of would like it if water was, not wet, like dry. So...
This is some controversial stuff right here, so maybe we should stop before your comments get, fire.
Oh, well, my channel is already, doing really bad, and I just need content, so... I will read this. Have you ever broken a bone? Answer, no. Reaction, happy. It's sadistic.
Do you like your job? Answer, yes. Reaction, hurt.
Would you like a new monster? Answer, yes. Reaction, weird face #11. I wasn't entirely sure at the time what Face meant by new monster, but I couldn't resist answering yes, just to see what would happen. The result was mind-blowing.
The game took me back to the board, and now, and I had a new playable monster in the form of...
You can do this. You got this. You can say it. Anguirus.
Anguirus.
Yes.
Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to play with Anguirus, since he was my second favorite Godzilla monster. And plus, I never liked Mothra all that much.
#Mothra's being sad right now.
Sad boy.
I moved my new Anguirus piece over to the level right next to it, eager to test out my new monster.
before I get into the level description, I'll talk about Anguirus a bit.
Using the up and down buttons, you could choose whether Anguirus stood in a bipedal stance or crawled around on all fours. It wasn't a huge difference, but being able to stand was helpful in boss fights, and crawling sometimes helped dodge obstacles and attacks. Now, in the original game, Anguirus wasn't in there, but I would have loved to have that because I love Anguirus. He's like one of my favorite kaiju. And apart from Gorosaurus, and I'm sure you don't know what Gorosaurus is.
No.
Would you like to see a picture?
I guess.
Okay, I want to show you a picture real quick then.
Oh, this is on fandom.
Yeah. Can you see Gorosaurus?
No. I mean, I can look it up.
Oh, okay. Well, you can do that.
Do it myself. Fine, I'll do it myself. Oh, he looks cool.
Yeah, he's also a really expensive figure to like. He costs like almost $200. He's like really expensive, and like he's awesome. He's so cool that he has a kangaroo kick.
Okay.
He could punch and kick like Godzilla, but no tail whip. Instead, he had something far more interesting: the ability to curl up into a spiked ball of death. That is the best name ever for a move. That should be on a Pokemon card. Spiked ball of death. And roll around. You could still take damage, but it was lessened, and it was a good way of clearing out stage enemies. But unfortunately, doing this also drains the power bar. The power bar.
But the spiked ball wasn't the only special ability. When you press start, he would fire a beam of energy from his mouth. It resembled Titanosaurus' sonar attack.
You said that right.
Titanosaurus's sonar attack. And if this were a hack, it may have been inspired by the effect from Atlan's Godzilla fighting game.
Atlan's. You pronounce Atari as Atlan, and that's funny.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I've never seen Atari written down, so never.
Atlan.
This is what you're gonna get.
Also of note is that when playing as Anguirus, the level meter gets glitched up. Judging by the life and power bar, I'd say he's on level 10. Now on to the level. It's a pretty neat level. And he has no eyes. No, yeah, he does. There's just a dot really close into his eye. Just a single black dot.
Oh, it's a single black. Is it kind of like a whale? The killer whale eye?
Well, I don't know. The person who made this definitely probably forgot to like add in an eye, or maybe I can't see that well. It could be either. Maybe it's just a demon version.
Demon?
Demon? As you might have guessed from the level icon, these levels are green palette swaps of the ground and background tiles from the Blue Mountains. But what immediately caught my attention was the water, which has a transparency effect. Was that even possible for an NES game? No, it's not. It's not possible. I know this.
Water?
No, like the NES, it couldn't do a lot of things. Like, for example, they couldn't like show too many enemies on screen at once or like glitch out. and it couldn't like do transparency, or like it couldn't do like there's just a lot of things it couldn't do. It had a limited like color most of the time. It wasn't like Atari. Atari had like really bad like when it came to like graphics, but NES had like a Nintendo Entertainment System, which is what NES stands for, is had a better color palette. I know the Super Nintendo could do it, but I had never seen a transparency effect in a game on an NES. The Green Mountain music was played with the same instrument as the Blue Mountains, but the melody was totally different. It was a very simple song with a lot of abrupt phases, followed by a loud note every few seconds. Anyway, I went through the usual strolling through the level, and again there were no monsters or anything, but pretty soon I had reached a cliff above the water.
Beautiful. There was nowhere to go but into the water, so down I went. The water transparency made things a bit harder to see, but it's tolerable. After going through water, I encountered two new enemies, a giant piranha and some kind of spiky bottom feeder thing. I liked the piranha because I could easily tell what it was.
It was a sane enemy design that would appear in a real game, and there were very few enemies like this. You should have seen the stuff that was what was in the other levels. It was like insane. There was like a squid that had legs. Wait, no. There was like I couldn't even really describe it. It was like a mermaid that had like a skull bone. I don't know. There was a lot of weird stuff. Also, it's my favorite monster. It's known as just Piranha. I like that monster.
The simplistic design.
Yeah, it got to appear in a new Godzilla movie. I want to be in the newest Godzilla movie, and I want to be a main character, just Piranha.
The Piranha?
The Piranha. They didn't take much hits to kill, but they were quite annoying, and could considerably trim down your life if they got close enough. They also tend to travel in packs. Oh yeah, so they're like wolves. They travel in packs. As for oh, okay, you do that.
As for the bottom feeders, they're easy to deal with. They swim along the bottom of the screen towards you and are easily crushed with a roll attack or a jump over. In the screen cap, you can see me about to run one of them over, and there's a pack of piranhas behind it.
Yeah, you couldn't do this in an actual NES game. You could not put like 4 enemies this big on the screen at once. That was impossible. It would just start glitching, and you wouldn't be very slow. Also, I like that design. Bottom feeder sounds pretty awesome. Pretty epic design. I can't wait until we counter the flounder in this story. The flounder. After I beat that level, I moved Godzilla onto the blue castle icon. I started the level and I got a title screen with the text Unforgiving Cold. Snow level.
Yeah.
The level itself looked like a castle dungeon made of blue bricks with rows of identical white statue faces on the walls. These statue faces had a permanent look of horror on their faces. It's like a
those are
like the Patrick meme where like Patrick's surprised and he has his mouth open.
Oh my gosh. Maybe they're like all the victims who played this game, man.
Yeah.
They're just like,
The souls of the people that just played this game. They're stuck in here.
Yeah.
What a terrible fate. There was also some flickering gray static, which didn't really obscure my vision, but it adds to the very unsettling mood of those levels. The music was a 12-second loop of a low-pitched choir vocalizing. That sounded very familiar to me. whenever I played through one of these levels, I got this sudden, horrible feeling of anxiety. I had the feeling that the farther I progressed through the level, the closer I was getting to something unspeakably evil.
Unspeakably evil.
You can read the next part.
Oh, there weren't any enemies, but where some I can't read, but these were some of the longest levels in the game. Wait, is that an actual sentence?
Yeah, it says, but these were the sum of the. He spelled "some" wrong. You're supposed to spell it in the context that he's trying to say. He spelled it wrong. He spelled it SOME when it should be SUM.
I only played one level, but it took 7 minutes to complete.
That's relatively short.
Huh.
I didn't want to admit it to myself at the time, but I realized something. Playing the Blue Castle level, this game has the power to make the player feel certain things. Yeah, like boredom. I was kidding. you can read.
I don't mean in the sense that you get irritated playing a crappy game or get unnerved by something scary in a game. What I mean is that certain events in this game can instantly make you start feeling something.
I know that sounds completely insane. I don't blame you for not believing me. I wouldn't believe any of this either if I didn't play the game myself. But there's something very, very wrong with this game. And I still don't know how to explain it. It's a hack. That's how I explain it.
Like the game was hacked by like a creepy.
Well, no.
Entity?
It's like what I think is like a ROM hack, you know? A ROM hack is basically like where somebody like hacks the game and like changes the code up a little bit and like makes their own levels and stuff. Oh, I'll read this small little blurb. So, then it was time to fight Baragon's replacement. That is pretty cool.
Oh, it's like a mammoth head on some sort of chicken body.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to have an action figure of that. That'd be cool. Or like just hang it up on your wall. Although Baragon was originally the smallest monster in the game, his replacement was the largest. It was so tall, in fact, that the ground was noticeably lowered, and not Baragon's head still barely avoided collision with the bar at the top of the screen. And he was just as frighteningly bizarre as he was huge. You can read the next part.
During how he attacks without arms. Well, he has the most powerful kick in the game, but his other fighting technique is much stranger.
First, he blasts
his cold, cloudy breath of pixels down at you, which causes you to freeze. Then he walks back to the right corner of the screen and extends a huge Gatling gun from his abdomen.
That's a pretty unique power. I just want to say that's pretty unique. That's not from his that's I don't like that picture.
Oh.
That might seem amusing to you, but it certainly wasn't to me when I was playing the game. This attack is almost as annoying as Gigan Saw, and not Baragon could have been unbeatable if he consistently used it.
Oh, your audio is not the best, man.
I think it's because we're reading this on Discord. Thankfully, he only did it twice while fighting him. Okay, you can read the next part.
Once you unfreeze, you can run up and start damaging the gun, which does extra damage to him. This helped me to destroy him, And then it was time to play the third level type. I decided I was going to use Agarius to fight Manda and Gigan
Geekin.
and then fight Space Godzilla as Godzilla. It was only fitting.
Before getting into the
Also,
battles.
I have been disconnected.
Oh, you have?
Wait a second. I'm back. Yes.
That's what I hate about Discord. Sometimes you get disconnected. This will be the last part that we'll read for now because like this is really long, and I don't want to make like an hour video. Before getting into the battles, I'll describe the third level type, the Arctic. The Arctic is exactly what you'd guess from the name, an icy tundra with a few watery segments. That's where I'm going to stop for now. What'd you think of this part so far? What do you think of it so far?
I think it's interesting. I think the author really tried, and if they think it's good, I think it's good.
Well, that's good.
Also,
go ahead and say what you're going to say. Okay. Think something happened? Anyways, that was...
yeah.
Never mind.
My internet is going out.
Okay, then we better stop then.
Oh, no, I switched to my phone's internet. It's much better.
Okay, well, that's good. Anyways, this has been another video on Kaiju King 122 and another part of this NES Godzilla Creepypasta. As you know, creepypastas are really great. I mean, just look at Sonic.exe. It's only the most popular thing ever.
Have you ever read the Russian Sleep Experiment?
No, I have not.
You should.
Have you ever read Tamino's Hell?
No.
They say that if you read it out loud, then you'll die.
Oh, no.
So we should totally read it out loud. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't read that out loud because I'm a little bit afraid that actually is true.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next part where we continue more onto this crazy story.
Journey.
Yes, and I don't know. Will you be joining the next part as well?
It depends on when you do it, because I have school at the time.
Yeah, I have school too as well.
Yeah. Just give me a time and I'll tell you if I can.
Okay, and hopefully we can get more people on this as well.
Yeah, Sky would be so... Sky and maybe like someone else. I don't know.
Anyways, see you later, guys.